All right, guys. Good morning. This is Mr. Elise. I caught my daughter's whatever, and I'm gonna have to just go through this and work through these problems like this. So this is a video tailored for you guys, so that way we can just do this. If you have any questions, you can reach me at my email address, osolise@episd.org, and I'll have everything ready for you guys. So, first off, we're going to be looking at some vocabulary. So, you have like terms and combining like terms. And we'll talk about everything at length. So, like terms were something like 4x plus 10x minus 3.5x. All of these are like terms because they all have the same variable connected to them. They all have the same degree, a degree of 1 in this case. Now, something like that has unlike terms like plus 3x plus, well, actually, let's just go ahead and go with like 3 times a plus 3x plus 3y. These are unlike terms because they all have different variables, so we can't just add them together. So we're going to be following these basic rules. First, anything with parentheses we're going to multiply out and remove those parentheses. Then we're going to combine like terms. And of course, then we just do PEMDAS backwards, where the parentheses and the E will be already worked out. We don't need to worry about that. So looking at this first problem, we have solve the quantity of x plus 5 minus the quantity of 2x minus 3, and that's equal to 6. So we're going to just solve this. We don't need to multiply everything right here on the first parentheses, so we just need to just write that down. So x plus 5. Now, we have an invisible 1 right here, and we're going to distribute that into this parentheses. So we're going to multiply 2x times negative 1 and also negative 3 times negative 1. Biggest mistake that students usually do is they only distribute the negative 1 to the 2x, and then they forget about the negative 3. So that becomes minus 2x plus 3 equal to 6. Now we combine like terms. So I'm going to just group my like terms together, so that way everything is all nice and grouped. So I have x minus 2x plus 5 plus 3 equal to 6. So x minus 2x is going to be just negative x plus 8 equal to 6. So now we're going to go ahead and check this right here. So always do your checks, because if you don't do your checks, sometimes you might get the wrong answer. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and go backwards now that we combined like terms already. And we're going to look for addition and subtraction. So the inverse of the addition of 8 is going to be the subtraction of 8 from both sides. Negative x is equal to negative 2. And we divide by negative 1 on both sides. So x is equal to 2. So now I'm going to check if this is true. Okay, so we're going to bring up our calculator. I'm going to take 2 and store that into x. Now the way to get to the arrow is hit Control and then var. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this. As we can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and put my equation, the original equation. So let's see, parentheses, x plus 5, close parentheses, minus, open parentheses, whoops. And that's going to be 2x minus 3. And we're going to see if that's equal to, hit the wrong button. We're going to see if that's equal to 6. And it's true. Now, if you did this by hand, you can do that by hand, no problem. So let me just bring that up. So we can go ahead and just take 2 plus 5. We're going to substitute the x with 2. 2 times 2 minus 3, and that's equal to 6. So 2 plus 5 is 7, minus, well, this is going to be 4 minus 3, and 4 minus 3 is positive 1. And 7 minus 1 is 6. So you can see that does check out. Okay, so we have this problem. And this is a common problem that we get that students are often intimidated by. So we're going to use the multiplication property of equality to help us solve this problem by going ahead and multiplying out the 5. So we're going to take 5, and if we go ahead and say, okay, what's the inverse of dividing by 5? Well, that's multiplying by 5. So we're going to multiply everything by 5. And when I say everything, I mean everything. That divides out, leaving behind a 2x minus 15x divided by 2 equal to 55. Then we're going to say, all right, I'm dividing by 2, so the inverse of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. These two divide out, leaving behind 4x minus 15x equal to 110. And that's going to leave behind, I'm going to take the 4x and the 15, combine like terms. That gives me 11x, sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking 9. 11x negative equal to 110. Divide everything by negative 11. That leaves us with x equal to negative 10. And that's my answer. I could check it, of course, but I'm not going to do that right now. Another type of problem that we may encounter is a problem that contains a fraction underneath two terms. So I'm going to get rid of that 3 first. So the inverse of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So we multiply everything by 3. So these two multiply out, or divide out. That leaves behind a 3x plus 4 minus 15x equal to 18. Like terms. So that leaves me behind a negative 12x. Well, that's a positive 4. And I'm going to do the inverse of adding 4. I'm going to subtract 4. So negative 12x is equal to a positive 14. Divide both sides by negative 12. And so that divides out. So x is equal to, well, 12 and 4. Well, that leaves behind a 7. Negative 7 divided by 6. And there, we're done. We can't do anything else. Whoops. I know I did this one already, but let's talk about this one real quick. We have 7 times 2x minus 5 equal to 21. So we can do this one of two ways. We can either divide both sides by 7, because that's the inverse of multiplying by 7. The only reason why I would do that is because I know that 21 is a multiple of 7. Or I could distribute the 7 and then just do the work normally. So either way, it's still going to get me the same answer. So I have 2x minus 5 equal to 3. Now I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And that leaves me with 2x equal to 8. Divide by 2 because that's the inverse of multiplying by 2. So x is equal to 4. The good thing about this recording is that you can go back and see what I did and see if I went too fast for you, because that happens. In this case, I would multiply out the 7 and the 3. Well, I would go ahead and distribute 17, because 7 is not divisible by 17. It's not a multiple of 17, so, or it doesn't have any nice numbers. 17 times 3x plus 4 equal to 7. So that's going to be 30 plus 21, so 51. X plus 40 plus 28, which would be 68. Let me just check that real quick. 17 times 4, yeah, 68. And 3 times 17, 51. All right, that works for us. And bring that back. All right. Then I'm going to subtract 68 from both sides. (51x) is equal to negative 51. Wait, 51. And then divide both sides by 51. That was a positive 51, just so we know. So x is equal to negative 1, and that's it. Let me check if there's any others that we can do real quick. Not really. I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. So guys, your work is going to be done on IXL. You're going to access that through the class link. Do not try to access IXL directly. Remember that. Always go to class link. Just so we can see it. Always go to class link. Let me see. EPISD class link or launchpad.com, whatever. So it's the class link. So if you go right here, always access it directly from here. And then upload a screenshot of the 80%. And you're going to be working on lesson 5 or skill 5. All right. And that's about it. If you have any questions, just send me an email or contact me through Schoology. Thank you.